All right. Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another stream. Today we have a 2000-something Ford Fusion. We're going to be doing carbon window tint on the back and front windows. So we're going to be doing 20% on the front doors and 5% on the entire back of the vehicle. So, things to look out for on the Fusion. There really isn't a lot. On some models, the very bottom of the back window, probably can show you better on this one. The very bottom of the back window, like right in here, sometimes can pinch. But if you have the turn dial Fusions, they're usually, for whatever reason, they change the deck lid a little bit where you can press down in that area. 4. Yes. All right. And then we got these somewhat annoying quarter windows up here. So these ones, you just got to keep your cuts pretty close. We'll go over it as we get closer to it. They're one of those quarter windows that just have like tighter tolerances, but they still have a ceramic border around the whole thing and a rubber edge on the backside, so they're not that tough to do. As far as the roll downs, they're pretty straightforward. They give you a lot of room. Most Fords do. And with that, Canon, we're going to go ahead and get started. What's up, guys? How you doing? I missed the last 2 streams. Watch them. They were good. Thank you. I appreciate that. We knocked out, God, what was it? 2 doors and a windshield on a Ram, and then we did a full Colorado with a full windshield and carbon. That was awesome to do. Wasn't intending on doing the other one on stream, but oh yeah, by the way, this is the tool belt that I use. Some people have been asking. I'm always wearing it when people are asking. It's by Avery Dennison. I believe you can find these at Fellers. You have to shop at an Avery Dennison vinyl distributor. Little backstory is these are technically for vinyl installers. That doesn't mean that they're not perfectly suitable for window tinters. That just means that Avery Dennison segments their distribution, so they have products for their vinyl distributors, and then they have products for their window tint distributors. So a window tint distributor for Avery that I know tried to get these and couldn't get them because they're like, sorry, it's a vinyl product. But yeah, these are super handy. They have a big pocket in back, they have a small pocket in front, a couple little things here, which is great for knives, shanks, snap holder, and then they've got the little fusion or belt loops thingies, so you can like just throw your handle in there, and it's got 2, so in case you use 2 of them. So super handy. It's about everything you could ever need, and a big beefy buckle on the back. So some of them have like the ties, which suck. I used to do that. I had a 3M pouch that I had for a very long time, actually. It was like a freebie. It's just a 3-pocket one. Some of them have, like, some tool belts have like 20 pockets on them. It's just like, it's too much. It's way too much, man. You misplace things, it starts like pushing against you. It's hard to grab what you're looking for. The pockets are slim. So you need pockets that kind of like stick out a little bit so you can actually grab some stuff. Just did a Fusion Friday. Awesome. There's pretty common around here. It falls in line with Ford and Chrysler. How about Helios Orbit tint? Orbit. Which one? They have 3. Overall, good, like decent stuff. It's not a very big brand for sure. Oh, almost tried to talk while I was drinking. That's a link to the apron you were talking about? T-Jet! T-Jet with the $5. Been a while since I've done. Excuse me. Holy shit. Good stuff. Been a while since I've done one of these. Want to say the back is harder shrink than it looks. Deck can be tight too. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying earlier on. It's weird. The deck lid on the ones without the turn dial. So before this one, this would be like a 2012 and forward. No. That's when they changed the model. Like 2015, 2016, something like that. They changed it. They changed the shifter, and I noticed as soon as they did that, it doesn't pinch as hard at the bottom. You have a little bit of flex in that deck lid. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. What kind of knife do you use? I use the red dots. I still do have a yellow one by NT with 5 cartridges or 5 blade. It's a cartridge blade holder, but I'm still going back to these. I might look around for some different knives, but red dots are super good. Got a 2017 Impala and 5% NR Pro. Very nice. I like the Impalas. The newer ones kind of annoy me with that brake light in the back. I don't take it out, pull it down, but that's good. I'm noticing with Glass Aid, it sort of lifts the film up in the corners and causes me to overshrink sometimes. Any tips? It's kind of hard to say what to do. I'm trying to think of something. Lifting the film yourself, so like pole shrinking in the bottom corners might help you out. We'll be talking about shrinking a little bit more because we're doing carbon, so that'll be fun. Church's Ascension, Tint God is speaking. Thanks, man. I'll cut the brake light out for safety. Ooh, I haven't done that in a long time. My rule of thumb for brake lights was if it was too annoying to cut around, or like if it was too annoying to tuck, I would cut around it. That was always my rule of thumb. Like, well, technically, maybe you just cut around it and just like pull that one. What car is it? We got a Fusion. Especially with the older cars. Is dry shrink prep better than regular dryer sheets or about the same? It's really personal preference. So the main reason for dry shrink prep is that it's a safe alternative to using dryer sheets because there's a lot of miscellaneous chemicals in dryer sheets and you're just wetting them down and literally doing this for years. Dry shrink prep's going to be safer. And as far as using like workability, one versus the other, the dry shrink prep is a little bit more sticky. Depends on the film, but it's definitely on the stickier side. So some people like that because when they push the film down, it locks in place. But if you don't like that, you're going to want to go with dryer sheets, I guess. Or soap. Maybe a soap bar would work too. I haven't really tried a soap bar though. I know a lot of guys use them. That's why I mentioned them. Lincoln Town Card is the worst on the third brake light. Don't those pop out, though? Like, they have 2 screws on the Town Car. You just undo them and then boop, pull the whole thing out. At least that's how it should be, as far as I remember. Like the Marauders. Or am I thinking of something else? I could be thinking of something else. Have a car today. From watching your videos, I bought the 2-gallon blue squishy hose. Oh, squiggly hose on Tint Depot. Can't attach any gallon spray tank or a 2-gallon spray tank. I don't know. I haven't used the hose that they sell. There's the... I would reach out to them, though. Shoot them a message, and they can point you in the right direction. They've got really, really good customer service. So they would be able to tell you more than me right now. I haven't used the hose. There's, like, as far as hoses go... This one is not the one that they have. This is a tint keg one. So I have a tint keg set up. And this hose is a lot more flexible. There's there's guys that are recommending some of the cheaper hoses that you can find locally. But some of them are just really plasticky and really stiff. These ones are a lot softer and lay flat on the ground. Give the soap bar a try now. I actually, God, I forgot. I bought like 5 different types of soap bars to do a comparison last year. I just never did. They do, but they can be a pain sometimes. Where it was a pain for me was always putting them back. Getting that little screw to line up on that car, I don't know. Sometimes it would take me way too long. Sometimes I just push them back in. I'm just like, fuck it, it's just going to stay there. I used to get a lot of those cars. All right. I was in the middle of setting up the GoPro. So let's set this here, and then we will get going. Ivory and alcohol work better than DSP. Interesting. I still, I'd have to try it. But there's always a crowd for everything. So, how do I say this? It's just, a lot of these things can be personal preference too. One thing to the next. It's always a good example is like tint slime. Some people like the green. A lot more people seem to like the orange when they use it. Some people like baby shampoo. They all work, but some people install things with a stickier method. Some people like a slipper. You know what I mean? So as far as that goes, it's like it always seems like it really just like dry shrink prep is definitely way over on the tackier side of things. So if you like that scale, then you'll like it for sure. Daniel Reyna with the 10. God, looks like everything's working. And it's really just going, isn't it? Oh, I'm just glad it shut off. Thank you so much for the 10, buddy. How you doing? Do you use schedule software for the clients? I do. I use it for my invoices too. And they're a big supporter of the stream. Well, that doesn't help. This. Tint Wiz. They sent me some really nice towels too. Tint Wiz is super handy software. It's a CRM suite. So you schedule clients, keep track of invoices. It'll send reminders to the client with whatever you want to send them. You can send proposals. You can keep track of inventory. You can do a bunch of stuff with it. It's not something we've really been able to show much on stream because of client information. Diamond and Daniel, both with 5s. Thank you so much, guys. Good God. Oh, was that one and the other, or was that another one? Oh, Daniel Reyna. Daniel with the 5, Diamond with the 5. Thanks, both of you. You guys are just working on that really quick, aren't you? How much is the Fusion? It's going to be $295. And how do you go about deposits? Whatever's easier for the client, and I'm not super happy with the way that I do it. I'll either send a PayPal link, or I will tell them just to Cash App me a deposit, whatever's more convenient for them. But what I think I might do is actually make a deposit window on my own website. That, to me, I think would be better. Might be able to do a financing option, too, that way. Do you have Tint Wiz connected to QuickBooks? I don't. I don't have QuickBooks set up. But they are integrated with QuickBooks, so you can send and get payments that way. How are the towels? Oh, they're super soft. I actually just washed these, and it seems like, I'll check on the windows, but if you haven't washed them yet, they'll leave a lot of little fibers behind. But they definitely need one good, nice, fluffy wash. Don't use a dryer sheet. Just all I used was a detergent and then threw them in on medium heat for a long time. They're super soft. I noticed when you add like a dryer sheet or something, they can kind of screw up. Like it'll mess up the fibers. Not those ones in particular. I haven't messed those ones up yet, but on some other microfibers. Oh my God, Chad is so busy. We gotta get started. Can you send payable invoices through Tint Wiz? Yeah, if you have QuickBooks. Is $295 with the windshield too? No, that's just the sides and the back. So I do $240 for dyed, $295 for carbon, and $395 for ceramic. Windshields start at $130, $130, $150, or $160 and $200. All right, we're gonna get started. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. So let's do a quick GoPro check. Also, just like Tint Depot, Tint Wiz has a super good and fast customer chat. So if you guys have any questions too, they have a lot of info on their site, tintwiz.com. And also a lot of like the more detailed questions, like you can ask them if I don't get them. Like I'm trying to answer whatever I can here on stream, but feel free to hit them up and they will let you. They get back to everybody super quick. Mark Moyer with the 5 had a 2020 Fusion about 2 months ago. The back deck was shedding and leaving black marks all over my arms and hands. Luckily, it came out clean. I might have seen your post. If you had a post in my group, I saw a post of this Fusion where it was completely disintegrating. The deck lids are normally fibers, but what I saw was just like, it looked like foam almost that was just disintegrating. Can you show super quick what you did to connect the GoPro? Not really, but I can tell you. I have a video on the channel that details the whole thing. That's why. Like, go look at that video. So I just use an iPhone, though, to connect it, and I send it via RTMP. So RTMP is what you're going to want to look for, and then you need an RTMP software to pick it up. And then, sorry, properties, restart. So give it a second. Sometimes it connects fine, and then sometimes we have to restart it. See? And then it'll do one more freeze. And did it not do it the second time? Daniel Reyna again with the 5. How much do you offer install nanocarbon ceramic film for? Ceramic starts at $395 for the sides. Like a full ceramic job will run with the windshield will run $600. But it's not my most popular option. Sorry. There we go. Working. Okay, good deal. Sometimes it just takes a couple minutes. Whew. Good hat hair. That's what I love about wintertime. Good stuff. When can I come to the shop and get some tint tips from the master? I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 day classes at once a month now. I was planning on having like a hangout every week or something like that, 2 days, but it's like I noticed that I can't stream. So like to block off 2 days for that and then trying to juggle some stuff is just like, man, I really thought I'd be able to do both, but I don't think I can do both at the same time. I might be able to have something in the background, but I can't have the same type of interaction. And that really sucks. Efren with the 5. I'll take a class to get back in my game. Bro, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm thinking we might just, like, because there's a couple things. Because if I actually plan for a like, event style thing, it'll be better overall. And I can focus on that. I don't want to try and juggle my focus too much, because that'll make both things not so great. But I know we have to do something. We definitely have to do something. I hope this isn't going to, like, bump my... Why is it lower today? Maybe we'll just put it there. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to get started. Finally getting started. We're doing 20% on the front doors, 5% on the back. We're using GeoShield's Carbon C2 film. And we're probably going to talk about shrinking a little bit more on this back window, because we talked about it on the windshield. But the back window is going to be more curved on this one versus the windshield on the Colorado. Daniel Reyna with another 5. Can it be asked what you charge for a class? See, that's the thing. I was planning on doing like $250 per student, and then just having things more casual. But if we're going to be doing a full-blown class, they're either going to run 2 or 3 days. We got to adjust the pricing a little bit too. So I don't exactly know. Most classes will run you $500, $400 to $500 per day, depending on where you're going. So I would Google around and see what other people are charging, but I think you should figure out what you want to do in your own class and then charge accordingly. So, yeah, I don't know. I think out loud a lot too. So, subject to change, absolutely. All right, let's go. Let's go. 1. A lot of these I can answer while we're working too, but... All right, so this is Pro Classic. We don't need this. This one's Pro Classic. So we're going to throw these in. 3. We're going to throw these in here real quick. Okay, that's weird. I don't remember. Yo, camera. Yo. Wow, really? Okay, there we go. I don't remember locking this, but somehow it did. 500 per day? Sounds about right. 2. 1. So we need this guy here. We're gonna start with this. This is our 20. That one's empty. That was a 20. And then we need a 5. Where's our 5? Oh, here. Do people ever slow down when you're near them? No. Oh, this one's a 5 too. Okay, good deal. So we'll start with this one. This one's gonna be for our front doors. 3. So let's put this. We should probably just take it out of the box. I need a table, but then I'm worried everything's gonna get put on the table. 1. Squeegee. Let's clean off this back window. 2. Yo, dog. What's up? Okay. Hey. Oh, that's cool. I'm in South Africa. I follow your channel and I love it. I am opening a tint studio, just waiting for tools. Dude, that's awesome. Congrats. Okay, so first thing is we're going to touch this up. One thing to note, the snow. I don't usually do much about the snow. The only thing I will address is if it's dripping down into my pattern. That gets kind of annoying. But for the most part, it all melts and runs down some channels, stays out of your way. It's not a big deal. The biggest thing is just clean off the outside of the glass. I guess we can scrub it too. But yeah, you know, this time of year, you get snow. The only thing I would wash it off with, or get the snow off with, is probably like a garden hose or something. Power washer, just blast it off. I don't like the snow brushes. You're definitely gonna fuck up the paint with one of those. Leave scratches. You won't be able to see them until summertime, but GoPro. GoPro. Oh, so one thing that's kind of cool is we're also doing native 60 frames per second recording to the GoPro right now, along with streaming. So hopefully we will have some higher quality uploads too. The only thing I'm not sure on is overloading the GoPro with both. But it was a feature, so. How much water? Oh, what was that? How do you charge taxes? Do I need a business license or just an LLC? Well, you need a business license to operate a business, so you can incorporate that as a, or you can make that an LLC. And then you just, whatever, talk to a CPA on your state, because sometimes you can, there's some creative ways I've heard for charging taxes. I guess you can, in some states, you can do tax to the roll. Like you can pay taxes on the roll and do your taxes differently for the service. But it entirely depends on where you are. What was that, super chat? One second, buddy. Thank you. Water to soap ratio? The rule of thumb is always 1 ounce per gallon. Whoa! Oh, I don't even know what that is. Thank you. Oh, from Africa. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For the 35 ZAR. I'm just going to call it ZAR, right? I can call it ZAR. Thank you for the 35 ZAR. What's 35 ZAR? It's an African currency. Thank you. I appreciate that. YouTube shows native currencies, which is really cool. Ooh. Ooh. You know what we can do? We could do a comparison. GoPro. GoPro. Wait. Maybe. One. Dryer sheets versus dry shrink prep with carbon film. Live on stream. What do you guys think? Should we do this? Canon. 1 second. Daniel Reyna with the 10. Matt, how does it feel to be famous now? Hurrah. I'm not famous, but thank you. I appreciate it. People have known who I was in the tint community, but that's about as far as that goes. Oh my God. All right, real quick. We're gonna talk about this. All right. There we go. What do we say? All right, I gotta shut up. I gotta stop thinking about it like a video, and I just gotta do it. All right, so dryer sheets versus dry shrink prep. Which one is better? We're gonna be using carbon film, which isn't something I always use, but in this comparison, in my last video, in my last video, I used just dry shrink prep, and it was a little bit sticky for the carbon film that I was shrinking. This definitely stays on the stickier side. I've been using dryer sheets for a long time. Main differences between this is these two is this is going to be safer for you as a human versus this. Dryer sheets have lots of chemicals, but how do they compare side by side? We're going to put half dry shrink prep and half dryer sheets, and let's do that live, because why not? 2. All right, so this also goes hand in hand with prepping a back window. So how do we do that? And I guess we need to remember which side that we're doing things. So all I'll do to prep a back window is we've already squeegeed it off. We've put my own glass aid around the whole thing. And then for the material, I like to just spray it down. I've heard with dry shrink prep, you don't have to spray down the bag as well. But I sometimes do just out of habit, because what we do for the dryer sheet is we take it, we suds it up a little bit, we get that all over our skin, and then we just wipe a layer on the back window. The heavier the layer, usually just the longer it takes to dry. I go a little bit thicker with mine, and then let's wipe it off our hands, and then we're gonna do the other side with dry shrink prep. GoPro. So we have a little bit of overlap in the middle, but we're gonna make this so it's virtually indistinguishable from one side to the other. So on the passenger side, we will have the dry shrink prep. On the driver's side, we will have the dryer sheet. But we won't actually get to see until later on in the stream. So we got to put this somewhere where we're going to remember. Let's go ahead and throw this up here, just so we know. Actually, let's put this up here. Haha. So we remember, right? Dry shrink prep is on that side. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, we can go ahead and cut out some doors. Probably need to turn on the car too. But this will be fun, right? I've been using dryer sheets for a long time. I typically will use Snuggles. I used to use Bounce. I stay away from the cheapest ones. We need the keys. But there's a lot of options out there. I've removed a bunch of Ford Fusion back windows because they bubble up. I've seen that. I haven't really dealt with it firsthand, but I've seen a lot posted. Like everybody always jumps to the film, including me. Because why wouldn't it be the film? I don't get it. What is it about a Fusion that would make it fail in the future? I have no idea. But it's not a fun thing to do, for sure. stay. Let's line that up. This will be a fun comparison. It'll be a little bit of a different type of comparison on one side versus the other with the carbon, because the carbon shrinks a little bit slower than what you usually see with the dyed film that I use, the Classic Pro. But when we compare it to like a baseline on the truck that we just did too, it's like we got more things to compare it against. And we just dropped the knife. Good job. The back doors shift a lot. Yes, they do actually. Those and like the chargers, right? They got this weird flex right here. Thank you for reminding me. Sometimes I just cut them normal, and then I'm reminded about it. So we can do something to make them look a little bit better. Basically just cut them wider is all we're gonna do. I like Fusions though overall. They're really straightforward. The only like thing is like for every straightforward car, sometimes there's just a little bit of extra irritation, and that comes in the fact that those little front quarters that are like, of course they did. They didn't do these. This car would be a home run. But I think in terms of easiest cars, the Malibu probably takes it. Thank you for the super chat. Oh god, that's getting big. Soap bar should be next versus the winner. Tint Pro mentioned ivory. Are there any other suggestions, or should I go with ivory? Because that's another thing. I haven't used any of the soap bars yet. But there's, like I said with the film, you know, we're using Dawn and baby shampoo right now. I wouldn't recommend Dawn and baby shampoo across the board to everybody. But with the film I'm using now, it works great. Baby shampoo was my go-to. Just baby shampoo was my go-to for a long time. And I could get away with dollar store baby shampoo, but I can't do that with this film. So that, I guess that's what I'm saying with like personal preferences. It's like every material change or every different film, every different glue, it's gonna impact your install a little bit. Combine that with preference, and it's all sorts of screwy. I think I left the, yeah, I did. I think I left the air on. My tint's ballooning up. Oh yeah. Use softener with alcohol. Interesting. I'm assuming that alcohol will make it dry really fast. For a dry shrink? Yeah. We could try install. go. Yo. I think we got to move those closer. I think having a couple cameras, I think having a couple cameras there, maybe a couple here, would actually be ideal. I don't think I need them in the front. I don't think that helps very much. But I've learned these seem to be more supporting angles, so like I can just kind of walk around and talk and not have to use the GoPro. 3. And that's kind of nice. But if you want like actual proper detail on what's going on, then it seems like the GoPro is kind of the way to go. But it's fun to try out. Do you clean the body of the car? No need to. So that's a good question. Do we wash cars before we tint them? Do customers need to wash cars before they get their cars tinted? I mean, we have now ice on the top. We had more snow, but it's since melted. And it's just generally kind of dirty, but definitely could get worse than this. There's no real reason to wash the car completely. It would help you out a little bit more, but the reason is because everything is going to be, like, you clean the surface that you're working on, but when you spray, when you peel your film, you're peeling it off in a way that's not grabbing dirt from the door. You can be in a very dirty environment and still get a clean tint job. What's really going to screw you up is airborne stuff. So if you're in a body shop and they're sanding a car and blowing all that shit in the air right by you, yeah, you're going to get a lot of speckles in your install. But most of the stuff is just coming from a bad install. Keep the airflow to like a minimum, and if you do that, everything kind of has a chance to like settle, and you'll be much better off. It's a good question though, because like you see the way we do things on stream, and then you see like some videos where people like will triple and quadruple clean their windows, and you just don't need to, because the dirt is not coming from like any mysterious places. Ultra cleaning your windows aren't going to make them look any better. It's really like most of it comes down to installation and not giving that dirt a chance to feed back into your install. Do I ever slip on my floor? No. Asterisk. There's I noticed this race deck floor, you can slide a little bit more on it, but the water just kind of like drips through pretty fast. So like in the summertime, I had flip-flops on, and what I would do sometimes is I would try and spray the whole thing, and then you could get like a little like snowboard stop slide. That was fun. Okay, so these shift, so we actually should probably shift them farther over. And then when we install it, we want to make sure that window is level so you don't see any gaps there. And everything lines up properly. You know what I should do? I should have cut this edge first. That's what I should have done. We can fix that. We can fix that. Now it's like we never cut our sides at all. All right, here's what we're going to do. Wait, is that even going to make sense? Let's try it. All I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm not going to leave a gap when this window rolls down, even though I may or may not care sometimes on a super busy day at the glass shop. So we're going to pull it all the way there, and then, oh, I know, sorry, I'm thinking too much. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to line it up here where I normally would, and then we're going to roll this down a little bit, and then we're going to roll it down. And because we rolled it down, like this is that wiggle that I was talking about. So when you roll it down, it shifts this way, so you'd see a gap. So what we're doing is actually like cutting that, shifting it over, and then we're going to cut this side after we've rolled it down a little bit to expose this edge a little bit more and make sure that we're getting our cut right. And then we can follow that down. It's a little bit overkill, I think, to not get one of those gaps. There's probably a little bit of a simpler way to do this. But since we're here, we still gotta, we gotta roll this back up. So this lines up in the bottom, that's on my edge. So that's all the overlap that you need, actually. Like this much overlap just gets you to as far as that's gonna shift out. That's really interesting. Okay. So we're gonna straighten this cut out, and then we're gonna line it back up, shift it over, and then call it a day. As I'm doing this, like I'm just kind of like thinking out loud because this is not actually something that I normally do. Normally I just try and guesstimate it, and sometimes I'll have it shy, but that's not on like a car here. Not something I do here. So do as I say, not as I do. Out in the field, sometimes believe it or not, it's not something I've ever had a personal complaint about, but we want to hold ourselves to higher standards, so we're going to make sure that doesn't happen on this one. Out in the field, I don't have a chance to cover up door panels either, so like that's basically another one of those things. Here in my own field, I can make things look better because I have more time. Oh, so this top edge here. Did anybody ask about this bevel? No, nobody did. Thinking about switching from a dealership to starting on my own. What do you think about dealerships? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think dealerships are chaotic fucking nightmares who only have time to worry about their own problems and put a lot on you as an installer. Not all of them are bad, but when I would contract for dealers, it was most of the time. There's a few good ones, but most of the time it was a mess. Like this toolbox right now. But I liked the idea of dealership work because they have lots of cars they're trying to turn over. They keep you busy, right? But I work at a dealership and has made me hate dealerships. Once I'm out of a dealership, I'm never doing work for one. Yeah. Yep. 100%. GoPro. I think where dealerships can really shine is fleet work. So if they're like, hey, we need 30 of these cars tinted by tomorrow, that is well worth your time to take on. But the onesie twosies, we got a car, oh, this guy wants tint, oh, that car, like, they don't get shades, they don't get a lot of information, and then, like, you have to find a spot, you have to find the guy, you have to, like, there's too many logistics that they just don't care about. So, it depends on what you're doing. I think the fleet opportunities are great if they do that type of stuff. But, hey, we got a set of doors. We need this. We're trying to sell this car by tomorrow. Hey, good to see that you're tinting. I used to watch you when you did the competitions. Oh, yeah, that's been a while. I actually competed in the last tint off. That was fun. Such a fun event to go hang out with people. I'm thinking I'm gonna go down for this one then if they kept moving it. Understandably, but I was gonna go, and then I wasn't gonna go because we just had a baby. And then now it's in June. It's in June or July, which we could probably make that happen. Washington with the 5. I didn't think it'd be that quick. I just did a 2000 Ford Ranger windshield. It looked really curved, but surprisingly, it was the easiest windshield to shrink. Shrink than any other. Don't know why. So you can have. Yeah. You're right. I don't know if I've seen a ton of Rangers. I don't remember if I've tinted one. The back window is kind of tight, but on the windshield on the Rangers, you have this curve that just goes one direction, and then when they do both together and make it in a bubble, that's when you have a lot of shrinking that you have to do. So you could have something just kind of like wrap around even and it'd be super easy to do. So that's probably what they're doing on that windshield. NT Cutter must give you a sponsorship for the amount of knife blades you go through. I just snap them on the floor too. Everybody walks on them and like, God. It's the compound curve. That's exactly it. Yes. Braden got it. Do you watch the show Undercover Billionaire? No. I watch Shark Tank, though. That was kind of funny. GoPro. Like, Shark Tank's changed a lot over the years, and it's still a really good show, but now they seem to only be bringing in most people that are like, I want $700,000 for 2% of my company. And it's like, whoa, God. Why'd I put that back? That's a big ask, buddy. That's like all of them. Do you still do dryer sheet method? I do, but that's more often than not from misplacing my dry shrink prep bag. But interesting enough, right now we're going to be doing a 50-50 comparison. So we have this side with dryer sheet, we have this side with dry shrink prep right now. And we're going to do the doors first because we always do back windows last. So we're going to save that to the end. But we also are using carbon film. So it's going to be a little bit of a slower shrink in general. What do we need? Heat gun. We need a heat gun. Where did I put my heat gun? There you are. But yeah, as a tinner, you're going to go through a lot of blades anyways. Should I base pricing on skill or material or both? That's a good question. Sorry, I'm snap shrinking. I didn't know if I want to describe this. Yeah, we do it a lot. You factor all your business costs on like what you should charge on just a lot of things. Like, what can the market handle? How many cars are you able to do in a day? What do you need to sustain yourself? And what realistically is coming through the door? So it seems like the market just generally figures that type of stuff out. So you call around and you kind of, like, I shop around other places to kind of see where everybody's at. And then if you want to just cut in there so you fit in with everybody, then do that. Because what a lot of people will do if you're a new place is they're calling around to a lot of other places. You don't need to sacrifice your price, but you got to understand if you're just starting up, they don't know you. They don't know why they should come to you. So you're just another phone call on their list of places to go. So you got to stand out some way. So a lot of people will just drop their price, but you could try and be a better business and do that instead. All right. Do the Harbor Freight heat guns last? I don't know, but I heard there's a new one that I have to check out. All they had for a long time was the Drill Masters. And those, they worked. And they were great heat guns, but they broke really fast. So these $20 Wagners always seem to be my go-to. And take my anger out on them. Well, that'll kill it fast. Some tinters can be really rough with all their shit. We need to make less trips around a car. That's something I need to work on. Which is like why I think these cameras were a good idea. So it's not so much like POV GoPro walking around the car 500 times to get to where we need to go. Dang it! I have a dirty clay bar. All right, before we install this, hang tight for a second. I'm gonna rinse this off. I'm still here. Is there some weird, like, it's my own, right? GoPro. I can do this, right? This isn't like a TOS thing. I'm just washing shit off in the sink. So I'm waiting for the warm water to kick in. And then for washing a clay bar, because we haven't really talked about this before. All I'm doing is running warm water and massaging the shit out of it. Oh God! Cannon! Diamond with a 5! And T-Jet! T-Jet with the 5! Got busy referring to earlier with soap. Ralph's video in the soap method, he uses Irish Spring. I've used Ivory, Zest, Irish Spring, all the same. Good to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 5. The following camera gives me the creeps. Damn. Really? It's a little extra creepy when you're here too, because like when you stand here, you just see the little like eyes floating and like following you the whole time. I followed your tips earlier this week. Vertical fingers on the windshield and it went perfect. Thanks, man. Oh, awesome. Glad to hear it. GoPro. Good job, man. Yeah, keep everything vertical. That's my point. Oh, yeah. It's fun. So these little guys here, right? So when you like, they just, and then you look down, and then, dude, they're wild. I always wanted some extra cameras around the car. I didn't like the idea of doing everything off of a GoPro. But the technology didn't exist. I meant to say the small horizontal fingers. Oh, so with back windows, yeah. If you have a lot of shit pointing out the sides, that's all gonna pop up on the inside. Make it a big pain to try and get out of the window. So that's good. Keep everything organized. Where's my scraper? Does the plastic sheet have a name? Yes, it's called Carpet Shield. I think I should become a distributor. I'm not gonna sell window tint. I'm gonna sell Carpet Shield. Oh God. I appreciate that 5. And I don't at the same time. I don't think there was a message. Was there a message with that? Thank you for the 5. Oh God, I know what's going on now. Thanks, buddy. Is that Daniel? Is that Daniel doing that shit? We're gonna find out. Oh, Diamond! Diamond with the 5. I'm gonna pop it. Thank you, buddy. Greatly appreciate it. And I don't at the same time, because it's fucking right there. We're gonna wait till I'm installing this thing, or get that quarter window cut or something like that. Then you guys are gonna explode it right in the middle of everything. Okay, so here's part 2 of peeling off of a car so you're not getting dirt in it, right? So we washed off the window and we didn't really wipe off the sides. Oh God. Stop it. Thank you so much for the super chats. Oh fuck, it's yellow and green. Oh, you guys are getting close. Not quite there though. Thank you for that. I will read them after the fact, because I totally missed it. There was a string of them that came in and we're right in the middle of of a window. Oh my fucking god! God. Okay, you win. Jesus Christ. That is so annoying. Right in the middle of an install. Okay, so it freaked me out especially because you guys donated and the air compressor stopped, so it just sat there like it wasn't going to. But it had too much. And so it just... Fucking time bomb, man. Thank you, guys. I really like the little blue glitter thingies that come down, or the confetti. It's not a mess, but it adds. That's all we're putting up there today. We just do... I'm pretty set on just doing one for the day. If you guys pop it, cool. If not, we hang it over till next time. We got a car to tint too, so it's hard for me to focus with that always going off in the background. So while I greatly appreciate the support, sometimes we actually need to get work. All right. So this is, the C2 has a little bit of a more traditional tint adhesive in the fact, or in like, it slides around a little bit easier. God, why can't you just say that? So what's the other one? The Classic Pro, or Pro Classic, or whatever, that sticks a little bit more. And then I'm always reminded that this stuff slides a little bit easier. So I'll have to sometimes heat up these edges just to make sure I get my film to stick before I roll it up if it's sliding around too much. I could just let it sit and go do something else and then come back to it. That is always another option too. There, looking good now. Let's make sure we're not going to tangle ourselves up too much. These inside seals on the Fusion are much easier to tuck than a lot of cars. The offset is, there's quite a bit of offset from the outside to the inside too, so the forged seals are like always way lower. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you just pull the film down like a full inch to get it tucked. Whoever designs the forged seals though, I like them. They just make them easy to work with, for the most part. Where's my... Oh, I got this guy. This one's fun. Maybe not. Here we go. I like ivory as well. Now, is that the cheapest soap? What's the cheapest? I only ask because I'm wondering if it is the cheapest. Because I tell you, there's an awful lot of people that like and recommend Joy. That is some cheap ass soap. Oh, we can't use the bottom. We gotta use, I forgot, we're doing 20. Did anybody watch how to turn your $600 stimulus into a tint business video? I did catch some of it. You know what that video did really well? It got industry people sharing it and talking about it. So, yes, it was an absolutely garbage video. But in terms of sheer exposure, it worked really well for them. That's what's kind of funny. It works best if you go to like one side, like one extreme side. It's just so funny that worked. Oh yeah, the tint man. You pick it up from like AutoZone, and they'll set you up with an account and then give you better pricing. It's like, oh yeah, you just go to your local auto parts store and pick up some extra film for any job that you get. You get the professional pricing. Like, what the fuck? That was good. That was good. Alright, this is sliding. I just need you to stop. Just stop. Stop so I can cut this edge right here. Because these little bitches need to be pretty exact. This isn't gonna stick, right? Stainless? What the f... I thought it was stainless. That ain't stain... Why is it sticking if it's stainless? Oh, that's another good question. How are these blades magnetic if they're stainless? I thought stainless isn't magnetic. Are they stainless coated or something? Is it a stainless alloy? It's gotta be then, right? Because pure stainless steel is not magnetic. Like the keg, right? It's a scam! It's still steel? This is stainless steel, though. This here, you guys see? That's not magnetic. That's aluminum. Aluminum's not magnetic. Actual stainless steel is not magnetic. That... What the heck? What the heck, dude? So, tint kegs, true food-grade stainless steel then. Blades are magnetic. It's a scam. Maybe it's a food grade? It's gotta be. 'Cause, 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 It's probably like has to do with like metal ratios or something like that. Food grade ones probably just have more of a non-rusty or non-magnetic metal. More stainless. Where did I... Dang it. I had it. Oh, of course I did. I'm smart. I don't misplace anything. So we got this to line up. Ooh. We got people Googling it. I appreciate that. Let's break down this. Somebody said it's certain ones can have a magnetic structure to it. Does that just means that it's cheap? That would actually be a real good thing. I need to put chat on this screen too. Why are you doing the little ones? Well, it's part of the car. We gotta do all the sides. It'd be pretty funny to have just these without those tinted. What's the hardest part to tint? On these, it's gonna be the back window. Actual frustration level is those front quarters. I'd rather do the back window versus the front quarters. See, these soft touch panels, it sticks really well to. So it likes Ford. So that's pretty nice. Hey! Should have done that earlier. Ooh, that's interesting. The increased, all right. Google says the increased ratio of nickel in the alloy makes it less magnetic. Oh. So it's more, or less more nickel makes it less magnetic. Interesting. Whoa, that's a big one. That's a big one. Cannon. Burns! Whoa, what's up, dude? Burns with the $20 finally caught you live. Oh, you're gonna like this one too. Guys, this is a GeoShield owner. This is the owner of GeoShield, Burns. Say what's up. We're doing C2 carbon on this. Glad you could make it. This is a fun one. GoPro. All right. There seems to be like something on the window a little bit. It's a little bit grittier than I like. Turning the show into a science show? Yeah, man. Like learning why things are the way they are. Like people always told me not to use carbon blades on glass, and I was like, yeah, but why? Because they would just say they're sharper. Well, it's not true. The carbon steel is harder than the stainless steel. Stainless steel is softer. So you lose your edge faster on stainless steel, but it's a softer one, so it's safer to cut on glass. So like that was kind of cool to find out. These are things that I wonder in my back of my head, and I can't be bothered to use Google sometimes. Where do you get the tripod for the cameras? Amazon. They were just really cheap monopod stands. So search monopod stands. They're way better for stuff like that than the wide base tripods. All right. These seem like they're leaving a lot less fibers behind now that they've been washed. So wash your towels. Don't use heat. Don't use much heat anyways. And stay away from using like a fabric softener on the towels too. I'm interested in the clear material for the door panels. So many people are. All right, we're gonna have to post that as an actual video. And then we can just link it in chat. I guess we're getting to that point where we need to put chat commands. I was listening to that comment. Oh, thank you, T-Jet, for the 5. People are getting cheaper with their manufacturing. It's less, if I remember that right, it's less nickel. I'd have to read it back. Oh, there's some other super chats that I forgot to mention too. Holy shit. I'm losing my mind. Thank you for that. The, cheap manufacturing. I knew it. Well, I am happy they are magnetic because it makes it easier to pick them up off the floor sometimes. I like to order GeoShields. Do you have to call them to order? That's a good way to get in touch with them. You can also like message them. A lot of people actually just message them on Facebook too. Email, call. They might have a dealer portal. That's something I forgot to ask. But I don't know what's in it. All right, let's see. We want to use this guy. Get that corner. And it shut off. Of course it did. Of course it did. Boo-doo-boo. Oh. You guys remember the radar detector sounds? K-bad. K-A-bad. They have like different silly laser sounds for all of them. I don't see many of them anymore. Yeah, Ford's... Ugh. Ford automatically shuts off. Nope! What's up? All right, sorry. GoPro just died. That's why we have these two. So we're just tucking this in, and then we'll squeegee it out. I did something a little bit different this time. I took the GoPro, and I have it natively recording to the GoPro now, so I'll have better quality footage after the fact. but it also cooks through the battery a little bit faster. So I think it only gives me about an hour runtime. Without recording, I get about an hour 45. So I forgot to check it. But that is why these cameras are super handy. See? I'm not crazy. It all comes together. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. Good deal. I can see myself. I can see myself on that monitor. That's awesome. And creepy. Yes. A little bit of creepy is okay, right? Maybe. Maybe. This is from my great throw. All right. So we're going to peel this off. Wipe that down. Throw it away. Tinters are so good for the environment, I tell you. Canon. And and creepy, it's acceptable. Well, I'm glad you think so. But we didn't get a whole lot done on that, huh? The other thing is GoPro footage. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. That's where I put it. I knew I had another micro SD card somewhere. It was right there. I put it in the case. God, I've looked at that probably 100 times and haven't thought a damn thing about it. What shenanigans did I miss? Oh, the entire driver's side and a balloon pop. Passenger side. Okay. So let's plug this in. Always wanted to comment on your live. You're the best. Thank you. There's a lot I got to catch up on, actually. There's a handful of super chats that I forgot to shout out. I'm really sorry about that. So we had... Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Ethan, thank you for the 5. Really appreciate that, buddy. Diamond with a 20 and a 5 and another 5. And then Bronson with a 5. Here's startup fund for the Carpet Shield distribution. I'll be the first buyer. You better order a lot then. And then, okay, so T-Jet with the 5. Because everybody's getting cheaper with manufacturing. Less chrome and nickel mixed in with the steel makes it magnetic. Oh, so it's just cheaper. Blades are getting cheaper, which makes them magnetic. I appreciate that. That's towards the advancement of better tinter knowledge in the form of a super chat. Is it better to use distilled water than tap water, or does it really matter? Because I always get a couple of specs when I'm done, or could it just be because I'm tinting inside a tent? It could be just your install. You can try. Like, it's a good thing to just try. I don't personally use distilled water, but in some areas you really should, because they can have a lot of, like, minerals or extra little, like, buildup. You do have, if you're using, like, one of the keg sprayers, you can actually twist off the end and you'll have a pretty good filter. But there's always extra things that you can do to do some trial and error and find out. Use distilled water, see what it looks like. If that doesn't fix your issue, then that wasn't the water. Most of the time you're going to have something in the window. You're usually going to be able to find something. So a couple of specs, don't really worry about it. What PC... switching from my Mac, Ryzen 2700X, RTX 2080 Super, that'll be great for streaming. Yeah, man. So if you recorded the live stream in the end, will you get better quality? Marginally better. Usually the same quality uploads to YouTube. The only extra thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to... GoPro has a setting to record native recordings to the GoPro. So the entire GoPro recording will look much better. But it takes up a ton of space. GoPro files are huge. And it burns through the battery faster. So I think we only have like an hour of runtime. And then we have to do this. So I really have to catch it after an hour. I have 4 extra batteries, though, that I can swap between. All right, so, see, that's where it froze. It froze. 1 second. No, we're gonna cross our fingers that this comes back. Comes back. Ah, 1 second. Sorry, this is one of the hang-ups. We're back. But we gotta do one more thing that may or may not bring it back. There we go. We did it. So if you record on the SD card, it'll be better quality? Yeah, because it does... Streaming the RTMP signal, or like the RTMP feed to the computer gets degraded. It's a wireless video signal. It's not as clean as what you're looking at native on the GoPro, so it records it without having to send it through the air. It's doing a lot to make it look clean, or make it look as good as it can. So you're talking about streaming 1080p wireless off of a device that's this big with a little battery. Like, there's so much that's going on here. It's kind of nuts. So I'll keep a better eye, though, on the recording, or on the battery. I might be able to just get an extended battery, but that'll like beef up the entire thing. So I will really just, we'll figure it out. GoPro. There's always something. There are a lot of stickers on this. There's this one that's here on the front. I'm guessing he probably wants that taken off. But these two on the inside are definitely coming off. One. Is it not working? Hang on. There we go. Where did you get your gray stool? I actually got the little gray foldy stool from Bed Bath & Beyond. It's a Rhino step stool. They sell them quite a few places. There's like a handful of different options, but they're just compact foldy stools. That one was taller than the little ones, so I found it at Bed Bath. Go. So we got that. Let's set this down. We need our towel and clay bar. Oh, we got that right here. And we also need a razor blade that we have definitely misplaced. It's sitting around here somewhere. It's probably over at the trash can. But we're gonna leave that one alone. until we get the for sure. Then we'll take it off after the fact, probably. Oh, GoPro. GoPro. Look at that top edge. Look at that disgusting top edge that we just made clean. You're welcome. I'm glad you like the tech. It's like, it's so fun. It's so fun for me. But it required so many little things to happen to work together and exist. So, like the little cameras, those are actually pretty new. And they made more expensive ones last year. I didn't even know they existed. They're called ObSpots. And they have one that's like $600. But we're not quite there in terms of stream funding to quite pay for 4 $600 cameras as support angles yet. So also they work off of HDMI too, I think. I don't think they work off of USB. So having 4 of these not reliant on capture cards, I like a little bit better. And then the GoPro, we figured out last year, that was just like, God, there was nobody who had any information about that. And then I also recently found out about, like, I was looking into camera switching. So going from here, we'll tuck this in first. We'll give you a nice close-up. And then we'll ruin the... So going from like here, keep that edge flat, tuck it in, bippity boppity, let it fall away, pull this, and then if it starts to stick, let it loosen up. There we go. All right, cool. Right? Like, that's fun. GoPro. GoPro. However, that requires like another piece of software to work. Oh my God. This top edge is different from the other side by quite a hefty margin. More so than I like. So these little edges here, these line up, but this top edge is actually more rounded. Way more than I like. That's the only thing that can really suck about double cutting. It doesn't happen often at all, but it can happen. So, I don't know. We're gonna try and we're probably gonna screw this up pretty bad. But this also shifts around a lot. It's cold. All I'm gonna try and do is cut this and maybe shift it back down. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it. I am not good at this at all. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta practice this for sure. We just majorly screwed this up. Oh, that side. See, this is what I'll often run into. The whole top was folding in on me. But before I throw it out, it's good to just try. Well, we're gonna redo this one though. I didn't like that top edge at all. It's way closer on the other side, but it's just, this is a different window. Could be that it got replaced or just what they did out of factory. I'm curious, but we will survive. Here's my 20. What time is it? Yeah, we're doing okay. Cutting on one side versus the other, that's always fun. My hand, like if you want to see a roll slip out of my hands, just have me cut it on the other side. You get used to doing things one way, and then you have to switch it up. And then it just like screws with you. How do you organize the film on the rack? I just put it in percentage. I'll put the lightest shades towards the top, the ones that I use more frequently towards the bottom. We are gonna make this a very pretty top edge, because it's on the driver's door too. Like, you'd roll that down, you'd look at it, and you'd be like, what the fuck? Here we have standards. But we do a lot of them, and a lot of them match up. So in this case, this one did not match up quite where I'd like it to be. At some point we'll need a shop tour. I've given a few. There really isn't much. This is what you see here. This is most of it. I pulled an all-nighter. I'm still up 30 hours, or I'm up almost 30 hours. What the fuck? Get some sleep, buddy. What percentages? 20, 30, oh, we'll go in order. 50, 50, 35, 20, and 5. And then in ceramic, we also have 70. I've noticed sometimes the more things that you have available, the more confusing it can be. So like 15 and 35, God, they're so similar. I've seen people just debate 15 versus 35 for like over a half an hour at their appointment. And it's like, ooh, we need to get started. You want them to make the choice that they're going to be happy with, but with 15 and 20, you can put them side by side, and they're gonna. We've had ones that were like 20 on the front, 15 on the back, and then the customer would look at their car and be like, "You did the same shade." No, we didn't. Well, it looks the same. It's because you got a 5% difference there. Let's move this down. Welcome to my crib. Oh, do I have anything up front? No, I haven't done anything different to the front at this point. I have literally a couch, a table, and I gotta put a banner back up. I do have I have the GeoShield displays up there, but I need to do some stuff to the front room. But see, this is where a commercial space is just not what I wanted. I think we got quoted over the phone carpet. Like, carpet would be like $1,200, $1,200 to $1,500, and then paint. I was quoted, I think, like $800 unless I want to do it myself. That's just for like the showroom area. And like those things would look good, but dude, it's so low traffic. It's just a waiting area. So I haven't wanted to like invest much money into it at all. Most of it has gone to this stream. This is what you guys see. So I'd have new carpet and I'd have nice paint, and then I just wouldn't have people up there. Most people end up dropping off right now anyways. Look at that top edge. That's such a good one now. 10 out of 10. Get this tacked up. We will do this quarter. I think we're like a little bit behind where we'd want to be at this point. But that's okay. We're putting out a good job. Where did I get the handle from? It's a fusion handle from Tint Depot. Why not bottom load? There's no need to in a lot of cases. It can make your install easier, but then you got to take stuff apart. And I learned not taking stuff apart. There's a lot more people, it seems, taking stuff apart now, or at least there's a lot more people as a group talking about it, so it's becoming a lot more popular, which is cool, but I've just been doing it this way. This is not stubbornness, this is just like risk to reward type of thing. It's like I don't have a reason to take most things apart because my installs just turn out good this way, so why bother? I looked on Tint Depot. It's the Fusion Shorty handle. There's a few different ones. There's the Shorty, and then there's the like Fusion 5. Here goes another debate. Yeah, regular people in chat know. And that's just it. A lot of it turns into like a debate between tinters. And everybody's like doing a good job, right? So 10%? Oh. I carry it and then nobody gets it. And then one person every once in a while. Yeah. And it just comes down to like what business you want to be. How many, what? Oh, like processor for the PC or for the 4 cameras? You know, I couldn't tell you exactly. I just happen to have a better PC that I used for video editing. And then I hooked up the 4 cameras to it. They're really lightweight cameras, so they don't add much. Oh, how much RAM and all that? This PC has 32, and it's it's using about a quarter of all my available processing power and shit. So the PC, you don't really need an overbuilt PC for streaming. I've heard a couple things where I would suggest an RTX card for NVENC encoding. That's what I'm using right now, but I didn't realize an actual NVENC encoder. Like, I have a NVIDIA GPU, but it's a 980. I'd get a 1060 or something that supported RTX. But the, I don't know. You could probably get away with a lot of things. If you have a halfway decent PC, you can definitely stream off of it. What are some things to look for when looking for a space? Space and price, which isn't much. Like, it depends on if you wanna be in a high traffic area too. That's gonna add to your price. And I don't think it's super important in a business in 2020 to have frontage on the road. You don't want to be like completely buried necessarily, but you're not, for the most part, going to have people just walking in your door off the street. They're going to do a little research and find you first. They do all their research online or use Google Maps, get an impression of your business, and then from there you just want to be easy to find. So, I wasn't looking for a space this big, but it was close and available. I couldn't find anything smaller that was within this distance for the money. And that's the thing too. This was $9 a square foot, which is really good in this area. Most things are like $11 to $12 a square foot. So, like a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot space can easily run you like $4 or $5 grand, depending on where you are, on like a mid-range. This was 3,200 square feet for $2,400 a month. Oh yeah, we going slow. Tint Depot doesn't have the Fusion 5? Or the Fusion Shorty? What the heck, dudes? Well, it's called the Fusion Shorty. So you can find it on probably another tool site. I bought this a long time ago. But they should have it on like all the major tool sites, which is why I figured that it was no problem to find it at Tint Depot. Damn it, Tint Depot. Get your shit together. Shrinking the bottom is that good? Well, why would I be doing it if it was bad? 44, Sun Distributing, Dragon, Zola. They have one with a little ring around the handle. Yeah, that's a Fusion 5 handle. I used to use that one a lot. I didn't think it was uncomfortable. But then later on they came out with the Shorty. Shrinking on the bottom, why? Because I said so. Do it. Go do it. Don't question. Just do it. No, glass is curved. Film is flat. So you have to form it. You have to form it to the glass to get it to fit right, or else you're gonna have a bunch of spikes. Yes, lots of videos on heat shrinking window film. That's what you're gonna want to look for, like heat shrinking door windows. I bought the shank and started top loading. Feel like I've been missing out. I don't make this shit up, bro. That's awesome. Yeah, I do what I think is easiest for me. Oh! T-Jet with another 5. Tint Studio Debate. Plotters, Lexan, bottom loading, occasional dingle or mango. Oh, god damn it. GoPro. Trigger words. That's what he's about right now. Let's get everybody in chat triggered. Let's go. Thank you for the 5, buddy. But yeah, there's a lot of videos on shrinking. Pretty easy to find. Oh, but what were we talking about before that? Bottom loading versus top again? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do. I mean, the way that I tint, a lot of it came from one guy that I learned from. A lot of what he did, I still do. And then there's just like little things that I pick up from other people over the years that I'm like, oh, the way he does that is better than what I'm doing or faster. So I'm gonna pick that up. It's like I add things that are really easy and seamless to add to the way that I do it. And then also, if it's a little bit harder to pick up, I'll practice it on the back end on cars that I feel like are safer. And things that I feel like are worth adding. So like reverse rolling was a big one. That I hold specifically for windshields. And I still do back windows the way that I've always done back windows. Because it's faster and it's still really, really clean. The back window isn't as wide, so it's easy to carry in without messing it up. On the windshield, it's much wider. So I like reverse rolling it. Turns out really well. Takes a little bit extra, but turns out good. Oh, we turned the car on and it shut off. Battery must be getting low, so we're gonna fix that. But we're done with the doors, so that's good. We're gonna put a charger on that just to make sure. Usually goes into like a power safety mode if it gets lower. We'll put a trickle charger on it, and it'll be good. For sure. So that's this guy right here. The other question is, how long has it been since we've changed the battery on the GoPro? Hey! Dang! Oh, that's a really good one to get. Thanks for the super chat. 1 second. I'll read it back exactly how it was read because that was really important. Something about the way that I do the reverse roll. Why did they put that all the way back there? That's probably a good spot, though. Is this unplugged? Shouldn't be. There we go. Alright, we're just gonna let this do its thing for a minute. Should be grounded, so we should be all good. Alligator! Alligator, what's up, buddy? $5. Here's to your method of spraying under the liner. What was it? Here's to your method of spraying under the liner for the back roll in 4 quadrants. That works so good. Only way I tint since you showed that. That's awesome. That's my little... I'm glad I actually figured something out. Reverse rolling is something I picked up from other people, and then I just kept like, picking it up, putting it down, like for reverse rolling. Yeah, it always got dirty. And then I like just happened to do that one time, and I was like, oh, well, this is way more controlled. And then it fixed a lot. Glad it worked for you, too. Appreciate the 5. All right. What's 58%? It's been half an hour. So, yeah, we only have an hour of uptime on the GoPro before we have to change batteries to have to record it, especially mobile. Yeah, dude, I don't have peel boards. Well, I like when I'm on the go. Kendall, would you consider a collab with a residential slash commercial tinter? Maybe. But I don't, you got to come up with a good idea. Oh, okay. GoPro. So, what is this? Something. Oh yeah, a collab with a residential slash commercial. I think residential and commercial is like way underserved. There could be a total, like, I don't know if anybody who does residential slash commercial videos, but there totally should be somebody that at least does it. I might do, maybe someday be able to do like a few flat glass demos out in the field with somebody, because that's pretty, like, that's pretty new to me. I don't do that. Oh shit. That's still wind. What? GoPro. Dang. I would be down. Interesting. Are you in my area? Are you in like the Detroit area? We gotta be fair here. I don't know at what point this got wet, but it did. Sorry, dudes. All right. Remember we did half-half? I don't know when this got wet, but it definitely did. That's really annoying. No, I'm in Nevada. Well, that's far. I'm not coming out there. I think it'd be an interesting thing, but there comes some like logistical problems with trying to do a live stream on a flat glass gig. The car had snow? Yeah, but I had it dried, I thought. It must have just fed down the tint somehow along the edge. That's fine. All right, we got to give a fair comparison here. So we have dry shrink prep on this side, which comes in. Where, do you guys see this? You guys? Oh, he used it. And then where'd I put? Oh my God, I'm so dumb. All right, let me say that again. All right, so we used dry shrink prep on this side, and then we used a dryer sheet over on the other side, and you know what that looks like. So we're gonna be doing a comparison shrinking with carbon. I am more than familiar enough with both of them. So we're just gonna see how they work. Generally speaking, the dryer sheet floats a little bit more. The dry shrink prep is a little bit stickier. So that's really going to be, in my opinion, personal preference. Not so much like this is definitely better than that one. What you might find is you will prefer one over the other for your for the tint that you shrink. But it definitely doesn't mean one is better than the other just from that. So when we're shrinking carbon film, it's going to move a little bit slower. This one still shrinks pretty well, but it definitely moves just a little bit slower. So like usual, I do a lot more shrinking on dryer sheet than I typically do with dry shrink prep. Mostly because I misplaced the dry shrink prep baggie. That's more on me than anything. But you can see this nice float happening here. And basically what that means is it's not really trying to bind up on me as I press it down. And I really like that, or I really got used to that, because that's what I learned to shrink on. But dryer sheets have a bunch of weirdo chemicals in them. You're always rubbing them on your hands. So, long-term effects, I don't know. It's not the safest of materials to use. So, it's moving along pretty well. Everything is just kind of laying down. And no matter what, whatever material that you use, at least with my style of shrinking, when you press it down, you want it to kind of lock down in that area. So you want the material to float enough to let all the air run through it. And then press down and like smooth out evenly. So that was pretty good. So now, let's go for the dry shrink prep. We were pretty fair. I think it's still a little wet there. As somebody reminded me in chat, probably from the snow. But all this is fine. So right now, everything's great. See a little bit of pull shrinking? Yeah, that's gonna be no matter what. I'm always gonna pull shrink. My method of shrinking is, I don't know, I'd call it a bit of a hybrid, where I will heat up the film, let it lay smooth, and then pick it up where I feel it needs to be picked up. And then sometimes I'll even go on the underside and blow some air. But as far as this is going right now today, I mean, this is acting almost identical to the dryer sheet on the other side right now. I think it's starting to stick a little bit in there. We're running against the dryer sheet. I'm really not seeing much binding right now. Everything is sticking the way that I want it to. I think where you might have a lot of extra sticking is in humid conditions. When you get into really humid conditions, this would probably make it like not dry out very well. Right now, we're in the middle of winter and it is very dry. So once you give it that time to, like, you know, the water to evaporate and continue your dry shrinking, then you'd probably be better off. But in the summertime, on like especially like a rainy day, and it's just really humid here, it takes everything longer to dry out. So if you're in the deep south, like Florida, I could expect it takes a little bit of time. But there we go. I could literally not tell you if I used dryer sheet or dry shrink prep. Both of them to me with this carbon film went identically. A lot of it comes down to the way you shrink it and if everything starts to fall in place, but I'm always looking for a material that when I cart it down, it sticks. Oh, and people in my group that are calling out my hard card. So this is a felt card. This is what it looks like when it's brand new. Sometimes, like the MacTac specifically, the generic ones, they're similar enough. But this is what it looks like after a couple years. They get better with time, all right? Shut up. They get better with time. So these edges get pressed down a little bit more. It's very blocky. They kind of taper down a little bit more. So screw you guys. I love my disgusting looking hard card. All right, where's my light? That thing crusty. F you. Did I got it somewhere. We might have to get creative here. How did I misplace my light like that? Did I leave it in something? I mean, we only tinted a Colorado. I'm looking if I stuck it to... Oh, I know where I put it! Ha! We stuck it to the trash can. And then it fell, apparently. Alright, we're good. It ages like a good cheese and a good wine. Most tools don't. Felt cards do. It probably stinks like a bad cheese, though. On the can. Ah! Chat coming through. Where do you get this light? Hang on, I forgot. No, I know the place. Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has them. So does Menards. The magnetic can. I hope you guys realize, like, you guys really get to see at this point what kind of a scatterbrain I have. When I was jumping from shop to shop and tinting, like a couple cars here, a couple cars there, every shop's got a little bit of a different protocol. So like they put keys in a different spot. Some of them will leave them in the car. Some of them will put them up front. Some of them will hang them in the back. And I got to the point where sometimes I would leave them in my pocket and then I'd go to another shop. And then there's one time, push buttons especially, I tinted a Charger and then I tinted like a 300 and I left the keys to one car in the next car and they took that to Detroit. Whoopsies. Good times. Good times for sure. Takes me a while to develop any type of consistent process. And it doesn't help with the fact that I jump back and forth between here and another spot a couple days a week. I gotta go there tomorrow. So I gotta pack up. I think probably... Are you kidding me? Did it do it again? Oh, no, it didn't. Screw you, GoPro. It's like, it disconnected, but it's like, yeah, man, your live stream's over. Cool. No, screw you. That's a... Oh, it completely froze. No, it froze. It froze entirely. I did a software update yesterday. Guess that's... Oh, and we're also recording native to a card, which is something we haven't done. So, looks like that comes with some unexpected fun. Yay! But it was like the most sarcastic, like, yeah, sweet street, bro. Screw you, man. There's like part of me that hopes that the live streaming is going to be better, or I'm going to get extra features so I can actually have control over the video. Never does. Never does with an update. They completely ignore any of the live streaming tweaks, but maybe it'll be cleaner or whatever. At least it didn't crash in the middle of my video. That would have made me really upset. You guys can deal with it. By the way, we've hit the 3-hour mark. I know. But we're getting there. It's for science. It's for science. Look at that. That's a good thumbnail, right? All right, 1 second. By the way, wait, no, what was it? Yo, I finally got a job at a shop tinting and learning rap plus other stuff. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Congrats, man. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, don't. No. I need you to not do that right now. No. All right, dude. I really need you to come through on me right now. There we go. Okay. So, the trick to all this, to making some of these things work, there's just zero control. So I stream to a program that's on the computer that runs in the background. And sometimes it's been really consistent, but sometimes it decides to not find it. And then you have to try it again. Well, the other portion is you have to tell the streaming software to pick up that feed from that software. And it handles things really weird. So if we had a frozen GoPro on stream, you have to basically disable the feed, re-enable it, and then tell it to basically find where you were streaming. And so that's a point where it can just sometimes not find it. And the other side is, since we bounce back and forth between cameras, we're basically telling the GoPro to not connect and then not restart every time we switch back to the feed. It's really weird. So if I were just to go from, let's say, camera 2, GoPro, back to here, there would be a 2-second freeze on the video feed. So you have to basically tell it to restart and then disable that restarting every time for it to work properly. It's a huge pain, but going through it makes it more seamless. So there's that. We don't want that. Okay. Well, good news is I'm pretty sure we set up the camera on the outside to line up with the back window. So let's give it a test. We're just using clay bar on the inside, but we're gonna give it a little test. What's it called? Preset 2? No? Preset 1? I think that did it. No? Preset 1? Dang it! Alright, I know what I have to do. I think I accidentally minimized the window. No, they're still okay. We'll get them back up. There's so many little things. Like, you have to leave software windows open, not minimized. You have to leave the mouse clicked on the OBS software. All these little things that you have to kind of juggle in order to get everything to work well. And when one of those things is wrong, well, that's when we have little frustration disasters. So when it works well, it works really well. And when it's broken, it's completely broken. So this bottom in that center, it is very close. Or I mean, you got a little bit of, it's tight, but it's not too tight that you can't tuck film in there. You can bounce that deck lid down a little bit. Okay. So, I probably minimized it or something. Yes, I did. That's why it wasn't working. Good deal. So this is the idea. Preset 2. Whoa. That's pretty cool, dude. Good shit. GoPro. GoPro. So those little things. So I can be working on the back window. I can carry film in, and then I can actively switch it to a better angle for when we actually squeegee at the back window. There we go. This guy. Toss that over there. All right. So we're all set. So, we good? Right? Let's just throw that anywhere. Because I don't really have much on picking these things up. So when you're picking up a pattern, I'll grab it here, lift it, then grab it in the center, start to release it from the back, and then go, whee! Something like that. GoPro. GoPro. Preset 2. Why do you dry shrink versus doing it wet? Dry shrinking is faster and smoother. The water, when you're wet shrinking, is transferring heat through the glass. Like, it's constantly cooling down your film. And dry shrinking, it pretty much, the heat just goes straight to the film. So that's like one thing I've noticed. You can create, like, you can wet shrink and create little teardrops. GoPro. GoPro. But doing little teardrops, I don't know, it's not quite as even, but you can still wet shrink. It's just more, you're gonna see a lot more people dry shrinking. It's faster, it's smooth, it works well. So I think it's a worthwhile thing for sure. Good deal. That's pretty much that. GDI rear window or GTI? Yeah, I've done a bunch of them. They're kind of a pain in the lower corners. Leave some extra film, pull shrink it. Dang. Thanks for the videos. Finally got some sides done on my 2021? Woo! 2021 Audi. That's it's an interesting one to practice on for sure. The front quarters on the hatch are no fun either. GoPro. GoPro. Ooh, this is smooth. Oh, is 16 gigs big enough or enough to do live streaming? Yeah, that's well, yeah. You should be fine. I have 32, but like I said, my system resources are only about a quarter used. But RAM is one of those things where it's not very much to upgrade. The more significant things would be like a processor or a GPU would be like generally the biggest solid expense. And for streaming, you don't need anything crazy. But on the RAM side, you should be okay with 16, but it wouldn't be very much to spring for 32. Besides appearance, what's a positive or negative? Honestly, the appearance isn't like a huge positive or negative. In my opinion, like there isn't. You can't look at a film and go, "Oh yeah, that's carbon," or "Oh yeah, that's ceramic," without checking like the heat reduction in some way, shape, or form. You can put a heat lamp and that'll tell you. If anything, a carbon film might look more blurry. Not blurry, but more hazy in sunlight, but that's with like certain lesser quality brands. Oh. Yo, dude. Yo, stop it. What is it? T-Jet with a 5. Oh boy, got a shady guy trying to open a dealership that wants me tinting there. Advice? I'd up my volume, just don't want it to end in a mess. Well, if it's just shady guy, why even bother? You can always try it. Give him a couple things that you feel comfortable with doing, like just like, hey, schedule these cars at these times or whatever, and then go in and knock them out. And if you think that it's worth doing, just slowly scale up. GoPro. Thank you for the 5, though. The dealerships are just like, I mean, you're already saying a shady dude, so dealerships already aren't very confidence inspiring. So to have a not so good one would be a big red flag. I would just set expectations and don't try and bend over backwards for them. It's like, hey, I'm comfortable with you pulling in. I'm comfortable with you pulling in like this amount of work on these days, and then they need to live up to that. And then you hold up your end, which is you go in, you get the work done, they're happy, you're happy. That's how that should work. If it's like, I'm in the middle of a day and they're calling me because they need this done, and this guy's got a problem, and it's like, it just ain't worth it. Just make sure you're in charge. Yeah, like you have that understanding there where they need to, like there's always things that'll happen. There's always a little give and take, but the end of the day, it needs to work for both of you. Often places like that they'll look at it like, okay, cool, I got my tint work figured out. And so they'll like, I don't know, business owners can be like, I don't know, like regular shop owners can be like oddly disconnected from the work. You know, where they're looking at the bottom line. They don't care what kind of effort it costs on your end. And then they'll just bring on whatever they can and keep trying to ask for favors. People get taken advantage of that way. It happened to me plenty. And then it just never seemed to stop. It's like there's always something. Oh, dang. Was that like a Glass Aid sale? Is that what that? We haven't heard that in a long time. On stream. That's cool. That worked. Good deal. I gotta fix that. I should have like a different sound. Is it in stock on my site? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, somebody asked about Tint Depot. Yeah, they bugged me for a week. Everything was moving slower around wintertime when I should have focused on stocking up. And then all of a sudden, just like a ton of orders came in and like basically blew out the entire stock within a couple weeks. And I was like, what the fuck? And so it takes time to get it processed. And so it went from being really slow to overly busy. And then just... So I still have it in stock, but I can't stock suppliers. I'm like almost out, but I should be getting more in within the next day or two. And then I have more on the way after that. How do you like the Tint Wiz squeegees? Oh, they're great. You can shrink a back window with it. No joke. They're really interesting. He seems like a nice guy. Would it add to the weekend work? Well, then it might be worth it if it's not going to like stress you out and you can just pull in some extra stuff on the weekend. That sounds like a pretty good deal. I mean, I would ask for same payment that day. Don't let them fall behind on that shit. Not unless you well know them, but you go in there, you get that done, and you get a check. Not this like, oh, I'll pay you next time, I'll pay you next time, I'll pay you next time. Fuck that. Get a check same day. We used to have an account who would always ask for like the next week. And then before you know it, he racked up like a $5,000 to $6,000 bill at a time. And then it was like, oh man, I just had other expenses too. And it's like, yeah, well, we can't tint for you unless we get paid back. And then he basically had to work it off like debt. They get their money right away. They sell the job. You should get yours too. Unless, like, so if it was like a Ford dealership or something where you know it's like, okay, they have 30-day terms or something like that, that's a different story because you know that money's coming. But if it's just like a dude. Those are super annoying. Like in 30-day terms on some of that work. Hey! We just got some light touch-ups to do, and then we're pretty much all set. God, this looks good. So, recording native to the GoPro, we got to keep a close eye on that. We basically got to put an hour timer, or like a 55-minute timer or something, because I can't get the GoPro to give me a warning beep before it dies, only when it's dead. And then just every once in a while, it'll decide to disconnect. And then give me like the, yeah! It's like, no. But it is what it is. We're slowly making progress. Like the first setup that we did with these cameras, it was kind of a mess. Now we're getting the hang of it a little bit more every stream. We make some progress. It's good fun. I like it. 2. So I'm gonna clean this glass off. Look it over, make sure she starts. How do you go about creating your own product? There's no set route to that. I mean, look around and you can find manufacturers and then brand stuff. That's one way to do it. So like a lot of film companies, that's why people get pissed off about reboxed film. A lot of actual film companies, they're... Oh, I should put this over there. No, it's too zoomed in. It's too zoomed in. Yo, dude. Zoom out. There we go. So a lot of film companies will just be a pretty label on a box. Granted, there's more to a film company than just the film, but you know, that's where, like, across the board in every industry, there's actual developed products, and then there's like rebrands and stuff like that. So find where you get a good product is you have to, don't think of it as just trying to get a good product. Find a problem that needs to be solved and then solve it. GoPro. GoPro. Ooh. What's up, dude? How have things been? Things have been good. Been slammed. Got my first Beetle tomorrow. Ooh. Is it like the early 2000s Beetle? That would be no fun. That's a tough one. What shade? We did 35... 20, sorry. Not 35. Not 35. I swear we didn't do it 35. We did 20 on the front and 5 on the back. Got a few little things to touch up. Is nano ceramic best for solar heat rejection? Yes. Yes, it is. The carbon will block out some, but ceramics, the way that ceramic, like whatever ceramic material that they use, will block out more. Oh, dang. Will a i7 9700 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 2080 Super be enough? Bro, your fucking streaming machine will be awesome. That is a hell of a computer. Yes, for sure. Like, for example, you could probably get away with, like, I mean, look at it this way. Go back a couple of months. I was streaming on a 3770K with this camera and this one. That was a 4-core processor, 32 gigs of RAM still, and like a GTX 660. You will be doing great. GoPro. Yes, it's a 09, so it's the fun one. Oh no. 09 Beetle. Fuck, man. It would be really funny if it turned out to be a convertible, but it probably isn't. That happened to me once. I was so happy. They're like, you gotta, like, I was heading into the shop, or it was like the next day, and they're like, yeah, you got a Beetle on the schedule. And I was like, fuck me. And then I pull into the parking lot, and it was a convertible. And I was like, this is amazing. When you have a car like that on the schedule, though, sometimes it's just hard to keep it out of your mind for the week. God, that reminds me. There were times where it's like, when you're told ahead of time of problems that you have coming in later in the week, you just can't get them out of your head. You're just like, shit. I have this job that I'm losing money on coming later in the week. Sometimes it's hard to get over that. Thank you, boss. Good stuff. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, I checked out your channel, by the way. Guys, Jeffrey Barbero, master, in chat. He's got a haircutting channel, and he streams it. And he's trying to do a lot of the same type of stuff. It's pretty cool. I always like seeing creativity with streaming. All right, GoPro. Was it? Yes. Have I used Lumar ceramic? Not in a long time. So I compared CTX back in the day to some of the original Nano ceramics, and the Lumar was not near as good as a lot of the Nano ceramics were. It was like a Korean technology that was making its way into the market, and it actually got a lot of people to up their game. So it was very good for it. But I haven't used their ceramics in a while. They have like Pinnacle and a bunch of other supposed to be really good films, so all right. The sound is late? Dang. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good. Just another problem we gotta sort out. I hate that Facebook renamed its app. All right. Sorry, I was messaging the client back, letting him know that it's all set. So the only option on your website for the windshield is 50 or 35? Yeah, because that's all they have available in the shades. It's like, look at it this way. 35 is like a nice darkness. 50 is like a nicer shade if you want to see that it's tinted, but still be able to see in. It would be probably worth it to have a 40% in the lighter shades for windshields, but it's not available. So that's like a decision on GeoShield's part. Keep things similar across or simple across the board for the SKUs. Do your customers take the cars next day or same day? Same day. Same day, usually within like 2-3 hours. So they drop it off, I get it done, and then within 2-3 hours. We went a little bit long on this one though. So yeah, everything is like within 4 or 5 hours for sure. So we'll get a lot of cars in and out in a day without streaming. GoPro. That's a huge one. Is like the streaming takes time. So I could do just a lot more work without streaming, but I didn't want to be another tint shop. I wanted to, like, I really like the channel. I really like streaming. This makes it fun for me. So when we moved into this place, we basically, like, yeah, it's big. It's bigger than I wanted it to be, but this place was like for streaming. That's why we got it. So we could, oh my God, why are you stuck? There we go. That's all buttoned up. There was no cover on that. Good deal. How much soap do I use in a Zep bottle? 1 ounce per gallon. I don't know. That's why I don't like the 1 ounce per gallon meme. I have to measure it. God, I should do that. You guys want to know a good idea? Get shot glasses and actually I don't know if they would work they probably wouldn't fit in the bottle, but they would work for the tanks. So I've told Tint Keg this like a couple times. I was like, Tint Keg, get shot glasses that are like 1 to 2 ounces, and then just tell people fill that up with the soap and then drop it in. There, that's how much soap you need. Oh, I gotta take a couple pictures. Let me do that. What's kind of funny about these cameras is that they just like, every once in a while, they just like fall. They're just like, eh. Like this one, 3. Like, what's so fascinating with what's up there? Although, I keep forgetting to use this. This is pretty great. This is actually a real-time streaming monitor off of an iPad. What? Where are you going? You need to put little googly eyes on these things and just be like, well, they're just a little derpy from time to time. 4. It's a ghost. Oh, that's creepy. Dang, this looks good. 3. All right, we're gonna take just a couple pictures. They're creep cameras. For like a completely unrelated thing. Oh, they happen to see ghosts. 2. All right. Oh shit! They lost 1. Wow, they're 1. They're just going all over the place right now. But that was an awesome comment. You're right. When I stream, or let's see, what was it? But when I cut, basically the comment was, the guy that streams cutting hair, he could do more haircuts, but he has more fun streaming, so he'd rather be streaming than cutting hair. Cuts into the bottom line, which is why we appreciate support. I can definitely tell you appreciate the tech that goes into this. Sometimes you get so wrapped up into the tech side of things that you kind of miss out. Like you forget what the point of your stream is, and you just try and like, oh, I gotta make it better. I gotta do this. Gotta do that. I run into that problem all the time, where it's like, I set up all these cameras, and then I'm like, I'm trying them out, and I'm like, was this a good idea? I hope so. I feel like it is, but it definitely like has its drawbacks. The Google Eyes should work. You should check the device orchestra channel. Canon. That's interesting. I'll try and remember that. Let me just take a picture of your comment. I'll look into it. I always look for tips about interesting. Use electronics with googly eyes to make music. Oh. Interesting. I'll definitely check it out. I feel like there was one more. Oh, yeah, pictures. Oh, it froze. Why does it do that? 3, 1. I don't know why it does that. See, that's another thing. I move it and then it freezes. And then it's back. I don't know why that happens. That's kind of disappointing. Oh well. I thought I had that issue sorted out. I thought it was the cable. Dang it. And then I forgot the key. See, I took a picture, but then I forgot to GoPro. GoPro. Yeah! There, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to start it and get a picture with like the headlights going, or at least some of the lights. But then I noticed the, yeah, let's get that right there. I noticed the rolls were off the shelf. And so then I put the rolls back on the shelf for the pretty picture, and then the headlights were off. So I just wanted to make sure everything was like in place to make them look good. It's always something. It's always something. So much juggling. So it's like, I described this before. It's like juggling while on a unicycle. It's just like you're trying to do something, which is the job. And then you're trying to do all this extra stuff, and you're just like, but we're slowly adding more and more things, and we drop a bunch of stuff, but you keep practicing, and you get better to where it becomes second nature to like make the cars on, make sure I got this is over there. It's like you kind of just work out a system. It takes practice. Oh, and not to even mention the chat in my head all the time. Is Lexington good? I think it's decent for the money, but what I don't like, what really has not sat well with me, is it's a cheap carbon film. And the problem with a cheap carbon film is you have haze. A cheap dyed film will fade. A cheap carbon film has haze. And you could have any number of problems down the road. So the reason you're going to spend a little bit more money for a better film is you get, one, a better film, and you also get real company support behind it. So if this is an entire film failure, he pays out up to $212, I think he said, per car. Like, he actually, like, Like, yeah, you get shit back for going through all that hassle if you happen to have a failure. Lexon will just pat you on the back. I wonder if when you're done streaming, you can still hear Sam reading comments. Yeah, you can. In the Facebook post, if I leave the chat up untouched, you still hear them like days later or something like that if it really stays completely left alone. What tint do you recommend? I recommend Geo. It's what I use. I like it a lot. I use their Classic Pro, their C2 Carbon, which is what we installed right now, and their Nano Ceramic Pro Nano. They're all good films. All right. Well, it's been a fun stream, boys, but I think it's that time. We've come to the end. So we're going to shout out. Whoa. We're going to shout out a bunch. Would Geo send me a sample if I asked? Yeah. Wait, why am I? Sorry, ignore my facial expression. Yes, they would. The only reason I hesitate was like other ones sometimes will ask you to pay for like shipping or something like that. They're just going to ask you, like, they want to know that you're a business. If they're sending you a potential, like a sample, they don't just want you to put it on your own personal car and then that's it, right? They want to make sure that you're a potential client of theirs. So you're not just getting free film and that's it. So that's the only thing they're going to talk to you about first. All right, so big shout out to all the super chats. Good, sweet God, we have to scroll. Big shout out to T-Jet, Daniel, Diamond, Mark, Daniel, Efren, Daniel. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this. The dude from Africa who's starting his own business, which is super awesome. Daniel, T-Jet, Washington, Diamond, T-Jet, Diamond, Ethan, that's so cool. Diamond, Bronson, Burns, T-Jet. T-Jet's got a bunch of them. Holy shit. Alligator, Kendall, T-Jet, and Mike. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I wasn't expecting this much today. It just happens from time to time. These are super fun. And again, thank you to everybody that just hangs out in the stream and asks questions. These are fun hangouts. That's the point. I'm gonna sleep now. I'm exhausted. But you gotta stop pulling all-nighters. Will you recommend Elgato Wave mic, and what kind of headset do you use? This is actually the Elgato Wave mic. This is the Wave 1. You don't need the Wave 3. There's just a couple more buttons on the Wave 3. I recommend the Wave 1 because it's got amazing software that helps you manage like headsets and stuff. These are just wireless. This is Bose Quiet Comfort headsets. So I mainly got these so I could use them out on the road because they have air guns and loud noises. I turn all that shit down. It's so much better. But you can use whatever Bluetooth headset that you want. I'm not using the microphone off of the headset. I'm using a Rode Wireless Go for the microphone or the GoPro microphone when I'm walking around. And then when I come back here, I use this one because I bought it for the software. But I still want to use it. You still using Geo? Yes, I am. And I like it very much. All right, and with that, thank you guys for hanging out. I will catch you guys in the next one. We're going to be posting probably a couple of videos to the channel from this stream. So there seems to be some pretty positive reception to that. So we're going to keep doing that. And as far as the next stream goes, expect probably Wednesday or Thursday we're going to do something. So either or, I might have a post. I might not. We'll see. But thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.